or 76% of Israeli Jews said that there are no innocent people in Gaza, or this was in August 26, 2025. Communism. You like the weekend? Thank a union for that. Thank some communists for that, okay? I can be a Christian, democratic socialist, believing Israel is committing a genocide while still rejecting that Zionism is fascism. Zionism is a movement that advocates for Jewish self-determination and a homeland in response to the persecution like the Holocaust. Fascism is authoritarian ultranationalism, suppression of dissent, and imperial conquest, which isn't the same as Zionism. I love that you described what fascism is, and then it literally fits the purpose of what Israel is doing, okay? And the guiding principle is Zionism. Just masquerading under this like fake wishy-washy bullshit like Zionism is not the same. You're a fucking idiot, okay? I don't give a shit what your fucking background is. It's not different. Then explain to me why it's different. Explain to me why it's different then. Okay? What are you holding on to? Explain to me at what point throughout Israel's history where this isn't what has happened. The only reason why you hold on to this fucking Netanyahu is a fascist, not Zionism. Oh, that's interesting. So, Netanyahu's main opposition probably didn't celebrate the brave Israeli soldiers bombing Doha today then, right? Considering that there's some real opposition against Benjamin Netanyahu, don't you think? The only real opposition against Benjamin Netanyahu are anti-Zionist Jews living in Israel. There's a handful of them. Okay? They did, and it's awful. I know they did, dumb fuck. I know that already. I didn't make that up on my mind. I wasn't speculating. I know that they did. I was setting you up. I just don't think Zionism is fascism. Then prove it. Explain to me why you don't think Zionism is fascism. Because it's not 1946 any longer. Okay? We're in 2025. And all Zionism has done, and all Zionism has shown, is that it is a fascist ideology. Zionism isn't everything Habibi does. What do you mean, Bibi Netanyahu? What the fuck are you talking about? Jewish self-determination is not being denied on any nation on the planet. They don't need a state to have self-determination. Demanding a Jewish state is necessarily exclusionary to non-Jews. Exactly. If the foundational principle of the state of Israel is that it was built on built for a people without land on an area, a land without people, and its inception point is the Nakba, 750,000 Palestinians that are indigenous to the land being forcibly removed from their homes, never to return ever again through military force, through death and destruction, then how can you fucking say that this ideology isn't fascist? National Socialism isn't fascist. This was Adolf Hitler's war. Himmler had very different opinions. That's what you sound like. Okay? That's it. And it's additionally funny that you're not even Jewish and trying to defend this position, okay? So you didn't even get the fucking downloaded social conditioning growing up amongst Zionist groups. You didn't even get this fucking education. Jews and Netanyahu are different. Yeah, no shit. First of all, Jews and Netanyahu are different is fucking stupid. Jews and Israel is different, okay? It's not Netanyahu that's different than the Jews. Israel, okay? Israel. Zionism and Judaism is different. Why the fuck are you trying to, as a Christian, describe this to a bunch of anti-Zionist Jews in this chat too, by the way, not just me? Oh, God, the audacity of a fucking Angloid Christian. Oh, my Lord, dude. Oh, my fucking Lord. Holy moly. Perhaps I just know a little bit more about this issue than you do. Most Israelis don't agree with Netanyahu. No, the fuck they don't. No, the fuck they don't. See, this is where you're wrong. They do not. That is not true. The notion that most Israelis don't agree with Netanyahu is a fucking ridiculous propaganda point that has been brought up over and over again. Are there Israeli Jews that are protesting against Benjamin Netanyahu? Absolutely, there are. But there are also polls that are conducted with regular frequency. Now, first of all, Zionism is obviously a ethno-supremacist, ethno-religious supremacist ideology, and here is the first inclination that it is an ethno-religious supremacist ideology that is exterminationist in principle. Israel's own demographic categorization inside of Israel is Jew or Arab. That means if you are not Jewish, then you are classified as Arab. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm about to give you the polls. Because there is opposition in Israel from Palestinian citizens of Israel that are the non-Jewish citizens with Israeli citizenship. There's opposition towards Benjamin Netanyahu in loud numbers and broad numbers, even though they're second-class citizens in Israeli society regardless. But as far as the opposition from Jews in Israel, there is no opposition to what is going on in Gaza. As a matter of fact, people are routinely polled on this matter. And Jews in Israel, have consistently stated that they think Israel's either not going far enough or doing just the right amount of violence. When asked about polls on starvation in Gaza, 79% of Israeli Jews said, or 76% of Israeli Jews said, that there are no innocent people in Gaza, or this was in August 26, 2025. There's another poll that came out where 79% of Israeli Jews believe that the starvation was valid. Jesus fucking Christ, man, your entire stream has become yelling at chatters. Don't you think that this is an important point of contention to address? Don't you think that this is a fairly important point to address, considering that there's a lot of... it's a common misunderstanding, if not being deliberately pushed. What am I supposed to do when someone is saying something that is so completely wrong? They are actively protesting against them. Okay, what do you say to this? According to a new survey, 76% of Jewish Israelis believe that there are no innocent people in Gaza. What do you say to that? 65% of Jewish Israelis think that as long as the IDF controls Gaza, it isn't Israel's responsibility to provide humanitarian aid to the residents. What do you think about that? As a Christian, I didn't know that I was misinformed. Yeah, exactly. So maybe don't come in here and offer this kind of fucking, ridiculous counter without investigating it a little bit further. The people are protesting Benjamin Netanyahu because Benjamin Netanyahu has made no initiative to actually bring back the hostages. They do not care about the death and destruction in Gaza. They do not care about the ethnic cleansing of Gazans. They do not care about the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians in general. Their disagreements are no different than Yair Lapid stating, oh, I'm in opposition to Benjamin Netanyahu, and then consistently celebrating everything that he does. So how does an entire society get to this point? How does an entire society get to this point? Zionism. Because Zionism is an ethno-religious supremacist ideology. So what's the difference between Jews and Zionism? Are you saying all Jews are fascist? No, I'm saying Zionists are fascist. Okay? Not all Jews are Zionist. But because there is so much muddying of the water in terms of what Zionism is, what it implies, do you care about Israel as a Jew? All this bullshit. And there's so much muddying of the water between Jews and Zionism that immediately people go, wait a minute, oh, I don't understand. Zionism is a fascist ideology. And as a Christian, you should probably know that the number one advocate for Zionism hasn't been Jews historically. It's been Christians, evangelical Zionists. Evangelical Zionists far outnumber the number of Jews overall. Not just Zionist Jews, but Jews as a whole. Evangelical Zionists have tremendous amounts of influence over the government as well. Evangelical Christians have tremendous amount of influence, outsized influence over the American government because of the Republican Party. This is why I always say, even if every single American Jew became an anti-Zionist overnight, which is obviously not the case, but even if that were to happen, America would not move away one bit from its unlimited loyalty and unconditional support to the state of Israel as it conducts its genocide. Zionism is not Judaism. Judaism has lasted for thousands of fucking years. Zionism has been around for 100. What the fuck are we talking about? And in that 100 years, in that last 100 years, obviously it's been able to, through an incredibly sophisticated social conditioning network, an incredibly sophisticated, pervasive influence peddling network, a lobbying network, has been able to take root in the minds of many people in the Western world, including American Jews, Western Jews in general. But this is an ideology, okay? Hard pill to swallow, but I disagree with you saying Israel's like ISIL. Percentage-wise, almost 50% of the worldwide Jewry support genocide in Gaza. Most Muslims didn't support ISIL. The comparison is more accurate if you compare Christian Zionism with ISIL. In 2025, Zionism is a huge problem within Judaism. Yes, Zionism is a huge problem in general, and it is certainly amongst Judaism as well, but it doesn't change what I'm talking about here, okay? It doesn't change what I'm talking about at all. As a matter of fact, the counter argument that you just brought up is one that I use all the time. When I hear American Jews say that they love Israel and that Judaism is Zionism is a phenomenally important part of Judaism, what do I always say? It's like if Muslims in the Western world were running around saying ISIS is actually awesome. It's doing it for Islam, and you're Islamophobic for fucking criticizing ISIS. That's my argument.